My dear students, I am Dr. Majumdar, working as Professor and Director of NIT Pharmacy Institute, Greater Noida. We will be discussing today after the topic of training and evaluation of the professional sales representative. Now, in the previous class, we have discussed in details about how to go on for a recruitment, how to go on for a selection of a professional sales representative. There I have taught you earlier that what are the internal sources, what are the external sources which we generally follow in order to recruit an individuals. Then apart from the process of recruitment which was followed by basically in this recruitment we took place the various the process of screening of the applicants. Finally, there was a step of conduction of the interview, final selection of the process in a candidate, and then we have offered an offer letter. That is, this process ends when ends with the offer letter being given. Now, when this offer letter is being given, the next start is what we are calling as training and development. So, first stage is recruitment, second stage is selection, and the next step is training and development. These first two stages we have already discussed in the previous class. Today, we will be discussing about the process of training. See, an individual who is joining, particularly if your source of recruitment is external, automatically you need to make him accustomed, you need to make him habituate to your organization. And in order to make him habituated, you need to carry out a series of steps which we are calling as the training of an individual. The process of improving skills and knowledge for doing a job is what we are calling as training. What are the advantages to the company? Why do company go for training? The company go for training because it will help that individual person to go for a systemic learning. Systematically, he will learn the process. He will know about what is your expectation. He will know how to meet up that expectation. The people will be in a continuous process of training, so that the company whom he had hired is fulfilling the satisfaction of the organization. And moment it is done, believe me, it will improve the morale of that particular individual who has joined new. The job satisfaction will increase, the stability will increase, this productivity will increase, which will lead to final increase of profitability of the organization. So, the next advantage is improvement of work quality, as I have told you, obvious. More you train, more you make him accustomed to your process, automatically he will be performing better. Accommodation to changing environment, because he is coming from an external source, he needs to accommodate himself or herself for the change. Wastage is minimized. These are the various advantages which a company gets whenever a proper training is done. Now, what are the advantages which are from the staff standpoint? The staff standpoint advantages are the skill and knowledge improves. The skill and knowledge improves, he or she gets adapted to a new technology, his knowledge increased, his experience increases. This leads to increase of efficiency of the staff, and ultimately this leads to then overall job satisfaction gets increased. And when his job satisfaction increases, it in turn improves his stability. more and more time he will be stable in your organization. What are the various types of training? First is induction training, introduction of new employee to your organization. This is what we are calling as induction training. Next is promotional training, given to employee in an organization to meet the requirement of the higher post. Whenever you are improving that, whenever you are improving the level, whenever you are giving a promotion, that particular individual, that particular employee should be so trained that he should be in a position to meet up the requirement of the higher post. Refresher training, given to employee to update his skill or knowledge, that we frequently do. Because see, my dear students, the technology changes, the market changes, the expectation changes. So, automatically periodic training is required, periodic upgradation of knowledge is required, periodic upgradation of skills are required. That is what we are calling as a refresher training. Next, we are calling job training, given to newly recruited employee during his job. Whenever he is on the job itself, you are giving them training. That is what we are calling as job training. Now, this in-house or on the job training which I was just now telling you, again there are two kinds of jobs. One is training related to the product, what we are calling as the product training. You are giving complete information, complete data about the product to a particular individual, that we are calling as product training. Next is skill training. You are trying to impart a new skill amongst the employee. When the person is on job, you are giving certain training, certain skill upgradation techniques just to improve his performance. So, on in-house or on the job training can be skill training and product training. The other process includes job rotation. The other training on the job training includes job rotation, that is shifting from one department to the other. Moment you rotate an individual, say for in one department he is there for 7 days, then you are putting him in other department for 7 days. So, that 7 days or 15 days whatever it is. Now, this the process, the duration for which he is there in the job, it improves. He gets an idea about what activities takes place, he gets an idea about what are the requirements for that particular job in that particular department. Next is apprenticeship training, commonly known as internship. This is mainly offered by the industries, and there is a tie-up between the educational institutions and the industries, where the industries get a fresh manpower, a fresh individual, a fresh student, fresher, and he is undergoing a sort of internship for 1 month or so, so that he is having an idea about what the industry expects. The industry gives a sort of an apprenticeship training to that particular fresher student. So, it is a joint program by educational institution and a company. Next is special project training, a coaching given by a teacher to his juniors. And next is in-field training, when a person is on job, the marketing manager is taking you to a particular on the field to show him how to retail a product to a doctor. That is the training, the experience which you are gaining in the field itself, that is called. Now, the next is what we are calling as off the job training. Off the job training, one is a classroom teaching. Say I am giving you a lecture on a particular topic. So, that is called off the job training. You are not in the job itself, you are not in the market, you are not in the floor of operation, you are not in the production floor, but you are within the four walls of this classroom. Next is sensitivity training. Next is case study. Case study, a hypothetical situation is put in front of you which may be a reality and may not be a reality, but you need to take a decision depending on the scenario which is narrated to you. That is, there will be a form of a short story that this is the situation what has been cropped up, and you are asked to put up certain solutions. So, there will be a brainstorming session, people will be involving themselves, how to solve, how to overcome, there will be a sort of a discussion amongst the member, and they will come out with a feasible solutions. That is what we are calling as case studies. Next is conference. This all of you know, because one time or the other during your B.Pharm course you have attended one conference or the other. So, you know it very well, no need to discuss. Role playing, you are asked to play a role of a particular person. Next is brainstorming, where people sit together, they discuss, they try to solve it out, they try to go for a sort of a feasible alternative. That is what we are calling as a brainstorming session. Next is called vestibule training. What is vestibule? The vestibule training means the actual environment is created artificially. The actual environment is created artificially, and the employees use the same material, the material which they use in the workplace or in the pilot skate like lab. That they are generating an artificial environment, a stimulated environment, where the employees are using the same material which they will use in actual routine life, and you are asked to operate on that particular machine. Say in your B.Pharm course, you are having majority of you are having a machine room, where you are seeing a 16 station tablet punching machine. There it is nothing but a sort of a stimulated environment. This 16 station tablet punching machine may be on a larger scale in an industry. There you are having a sort of a on hand exposure. So, next, job description, objective, job analysis, job evaluation, then it will lead to the determination of the salary and wage, and finally, monetary fixation. Now, we are coming to the, after training, we are coming to the compensation aspect. We are coming to the compensation aspect. Compensation again are of two kinds. One is direct compensation, other one is indirect compensation. Direct compensation refers to the monetary benefits offered to the employees in terms of the service provided to the organization. Direct compensation means what the money the company gives to the employee in terms of the service which he or she is offering, the salary, the DA, basic. Indirect compensation means which are non-monetary benefits provided to a staff. Say for example, you are working in a company, the company is providing you a LIC policy, the company is providing you with a medical insurance policy, the company is giving you LTC. They are all indirect non-monetary benefits which are provided by an organization to a staff, what we are calling as indirect compensation. Now, let us see what are the components of direct compensation, then we will go for what are the components of indirect compensation. Direct compensation starts from the basic salary. Next is house rent allowance or HRA. Next is conveyance allowance or CA. Next is leave travel allowance or LTA. Next is the other special allowance. medical reimbursement. So, all these individual components, they are clubbing under what you are calling as direct compensation. Therefore, direct compensation includes number 1 your basic, 2 DA dearness allowance, HRA house rent allowance, conveyance allowance, leave travel allowance, medical reimbursement and so on. This is the monetary involvement. This is the monetary process which an organization gives to its staff. It includes the basic, HRA, conveyance, LTA, bonus, medical reimbursement and other special allowances. HRA, house rent allowance. Organizations either provides you accommodation to the employees who are basically coming from other states or other countries, or those companies which are not having houses, they are providing you with money so that you can rent a house and stay. So, organizations either provides you accommodation to the employees who are coming from other states or countries, or they provide you a certain fraction, that depends on your basic. In fact, that depends on whether you are staying in a rural area or you are staying in an urban area, that also varies. That is, it generally is a fixed percentage of your basic, which is generally given as your house rent, particularly in those situations where the company is not offering you an accommodation, a physical accommodation to stay at. Conveyance. For your work, you are going from one place to the other, so it requires lot of expenditure in terms of your petrol, if you are having your own vehicles. Sometimes you are not having your own vehicles, you are hiring a car and then you are going. Sometimes companies have their own cab facilities. So, organization provides for cab facilities to their employees. Few organizations also provide vehicles and petrol allowances to their employees, just it is a thought to motivate. There are some organizations who there is a sort of an entitlement series. Say for example, initially they may be allowed to go, they will be reimbursed with a ticket for AC 3 tier. As the level increases, they will be provided with AC 2 tier facility. When it further increases, they will be provided with rail first class AC fare or with the air fare. Now, that depends on the stage, that depends on the strata, that depends on the hierarchy where you are working. Next is leave travel allowances. These allowances are provided to retain the best talent in an organization. The employees are given allowances to visit any place they wish with their family member, to spend time with their family members. So, whenever they come back from vacation, they are coming with a fresh mind, they are coming with a lot of rejuvenations. Now, these allowances are scaled as per the position, the one which I was just now telling you. That depends on where you are, what is your hierarchy in an organization, that will tell you what is your. Next, we are coming to medical reimbursement. Organizations also look after the health conditions of the employees. The employees are provided with mediclaims for them and their family members, so that at the back of their mind they are sure that if they fall ill today, their medical bills will be reimbursed. The medical bills of their family members will be reimbursed. So, that is a sort of a mental satisfaction. The people will not feel at risk. These mediclaims include the health insurance, treatment bill reimbursement and so on. Next, under others, the first comes the bonus. The bonus is paid to the employees during the festive session to motivate them and provided them with the social security. The bonus amount usually amounts to 1 month's salary of the employees, just to allow them to spend, just to create a sort of a motivation. Organization puts Diwali bonus, Holi bonus and so on. The other special allowances which are included in direct compensation are the overtime, the mobile allowance, the meals, the commissions, the travel expenses, reduced interest loans. Sometimes they provide loans to you to purchase your house. Sometimes they provide loans to you to purchase bikes, and the rate of interest has been reduced. Just the purpose is motivation and company's productivity. Among the indirect compensation, it includes hospitalization, insurance, leave travel, retirement benefit, holiday homes, flexible timing, leave policy and overtimes. All these are coming under indirect compensations. Leave policy, it is the right of an employee to get adequate number of leaves while working in an organization, and in fact it varies from one organization to the other. The organization provides for paid leaves such as casual leaves, medical leaves or sick leaves, maternity leave, statutory pay, paternity leaves and so on. Next is overtime. The employees should be provided with an adequate allowance and facilities during their overtime. If at all it is required for them to do, they should be provided with transportation facility, they should be provided with financial benefits, so that they will stay back after the regular hours to work for the organization. Next is hospitalization. The employee should be provided with allowance to get the regular checkup done at an interval of every 1 year. This will help the employees from becoming sick in the long run and becomes a liability for the organization. So, the company deliberately do this so that if there is any, if this regular health checkup is done, any minor illness can be taken care of for that employee and he will be fit enough again to serve the organizations. It is not only limited to the people who is working. Sometimes the dependents, they are also eligible for such mediclaims that provided them with emotional outputs as well as a sort of a social security. They feel secured mentally that today if their son is ill, if their wife is ill, or if the dependent parents are ill, there is somebody to support from behind. Next is insurance. Organizations also provides accidental insurance and life insurance for their employees. This gives them again a mental security, emotional security, and they feel themselves valued for the organization. They feel that the company is thinking about me, so I must give something in return to the organization. And here an effective HR systems run. If these components are functioning nicely, be rest assured very less number of people will leave your organization, because the mental satisfaction which they get creates a sort of bonding amongst the employees. Leave travel. The next indirect compensation is leave travel. The employees are provided with leaves as well as travel allowance to go for a holiday package with their families. Some organizations also arrange tour for their employees or the organization. This is usually done to remove the stress of the employees. The next indirect compensation is the retirement benefit. The organization provides pension plans and other benefits for their employees which benefit them after they retire from the organization at a prescribed age of 60 or 62, so they can lead a very comfortable retirement life. Holiday homes, this is another package companies organization provides for holiday home and guest house for their employees at different locations, which may be available at a very subsidized rate. This organization makes sure that the employees do not face any kind of difficulty during their stay in the guest house. Flexible timings. Organization provide flexible timings to the employees who cannot come to work during normal shift due to any personal reason, due to any valid reason, due to whatever reason, if an employee is delayed for some period of time, the company gives an opportunity for going for flexible timings. Payroll management refers to the administration of the employee's salary, wages, benefits and net pay and deduction. It consists of, basically it is a sort of a structure comprising of the employee ID, employee name, date of joining, daily attendance, basic salary, overtime, pay, bonus, commissions, incentives and so on. These are some deductions. There are certain situations, some deductions are there in provident fund as tax, particularly income tax, at loan installments against advance taken by the employee. These are the various components of a monthly payroll of an employee: basic salary, HRA, conveyance, DA, other allowance, tax, and this part are the various deductions. These parts are the various deductions. Now, the benefits for incentive: deserving candidates should receive significant rewards. Incentive account for employees' high productivity. Today, the youngsters believe in performance-based pay. Thus, incentives will help them to motivate and produce more and more. So, more and more is produced automatically, more and more profit generated. In a hospitality or in retail industry, it is the incentive that accounts mainly for the overall package of the employee. And with this, we are coming to the end of our class today. I hope you enjoy this class on compensation and training and development, which we have studied today. Thank you very much.